Hope you're doing okay. So previously in our episodes, we looked at what really is React JS, and we looked at what are the prerequisites, as well as what you need in order for you to set up the environment for development. So in this episode, we're going to look at creating our very first React project. Okay, so we're going to be using PowerShell in order for us to create that React project. So first of all, you want to create a folder. That's why we'll be saving our works. Okay, let me just create a new folder, and we're going to call this folder as project. Okay, so we have to go inside this project. Then here on top, we just search for PowerShell. Okay, once we press enter, this must come. So the command that you need to put in order for you to create your project is npm create. Okay, then we're going to be using a very wonderful tool called Vite. That is a library that comes with lots of dependencies for React. Okay, so Vite add, and then you want to face the latest version of Vite. Okay, then the name of our project. So in this case, let's just call it React series. Okay, then you want to specify which template you'll be using. So in this case, we're going to be using the React template. Okay, so when we press enter, it's going to ask us the framework that we want to use. In this case, we're going to select the React. Okay, then the language variant, we're going to select JavaScript. So once you press enter, you're going to see these instructions on your screen saying we have to navigate to the folder that was created. So in this case, we go cd React series. Okay, so once we're in there, we have to install all the dependencies using node package manager, that is npm. Okay, so we have to run npm install. Okay, so depending on your network size speed, it can take either a short time or a long time, but you have to be patient. Okay, so it is done, and as you can see, it has installed 153 packages. Okay, so now let's dive deep into what was created. Okay, so wanna close your PowerShell, then you go in the directory for React series. Okay, then you open with Visual Studio Code. Okay, so as I mentioned in the first episode, that a React application is a single dynamic web application that renders all the components content in a single page. So as you can see here, we've got this, the index.html. So this is where the whole application is rendered. Okay, then we've got this, the node module. So this is where all the dependencies are installed. Okay, then we've got the public. This is where all the public files that we're going to be using in our project can be put. Then we've got this folder, source src. So this is where you find the actual components of the application. Okay, so we've got a directory called assets. So this is where we can put our assets. It may be some css, javascript, or any other asset that we might use later in the project. Then the two most important files, this is the app.jsx and the main.jsx. So as I mentioned earlier in the episode 1, I say that React uses JSX. This is just an acronym for JavaScript XML. It's more like HTML, but it's not really HTML. That's just JavaScript rendering uh, an HTML lookalike language, which is JSX. So let's dive deep. So what is contained in this app.jsx? So this is the entry point. Okay, so this is where we are going to be inserting all our components. Okay, so we might create a lot of components for a React application. Then we will be able to render them in this app.jsx. Then the main.jsx. So this is where the whole application is rendered in order for us to make sure that it is displayed on the index.html. Now let's go ahead and run this application that was created for us. So in order for us to do that, you just need to open your terminal. Okay, so once you open the terminal, you just need to run this command npm run dev. Okay, so this will create a local server and it will give you the access to it. So in order for us to access this project, you just need to go to this link. Okay, just click control. Okay, so the project has opened and this is the default welcoming page for React and Vite. Okay, so let us go ahead and create our very first hello world component. Okay, so first of all, let's just get rid of some stuff. Okay, when we go in our app.jsx, let us remove all these. Okay, we remove. We also don't need this. Okay, we also don't need these. Okay, so let's create a component that we're going to name hello. Okay, so you want to go there, click, then let's save it as hello.jsx. Okay, so as you have observed, the hello has begun with a capital H. Yeah, this is because we're going to create a function inside of this file called the hello function that is going to return something that we have to render on the web page. Okay, so when you click enter, remember this is a component that we are making, so therefore we need to export it in order for us to be able to call it in any other part of the application. So there are two ways that you can do this, and I'm just going to focus on the quick and better way of doing this. So what you want to do is to go ahead and type export default. Okay, then you declare a function. Let's call it hello. As you can see, there's an autocomplete that is coming. This because installed uh, I've installed some plugins that do autocomplete, as well as Visual Studio Code has got an inbuilt Copilot AI that autocompletes the code for you. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to press tab. Then that is a function that we have created, or rather, should I say, a component that we've created. Okay, then how do we now render this component that we have created called the hello component? Okay, so first things first, you need to come in your app.jsx and then you have to import that component. Okay, so we're just going to import. What are we importing? Hello from. I'm just going to press tab. Okay, okay, hello from this hello. Okay, so how do we render it? We just render it using these tags. Okay, we just call it hello. Okay, so once you close that and you save, we go back to our application, you'll find that we have created our very first hello world project. So guys, that is how you create your first hello world project in React.js.